Welcome back to Prof E Plays. I'm Prof E, and we are picking up with the Adventuring Guild of Roselake that is going to be continuing through the Tower of Thulsa. The last episode was an extremely long one, almost 2 hours. It was a big combat. You don't have to watch the whole thing. I'll just sum up what happened. Half of the party died. Well, we did take out the bandits. Like two ran off, but apparently just ran. And half of my party is dead. So that means at this point, by the way, the deaths were not evenly distributed at all. Instead, what we lost was one of our three clerics, both of our warriors, and both of our wizards. So at this point, we're down to just 5 people remaining from this adventuring guild. So we have two clerics, Igor and Helmut, both of whom are lawful. We have two thieves. We have Phineas and Marv. One is neutral, the other's lawful. And then finally we have Vilbo, the lawful wanderer, who is a halfling. Right. Now, I did make some mistake there, although interestingly, it made literally no difference. And that was I had Vilbo burn luck to help some of his compatriots, which you can do. But the way that the luck helps, I had it as if Vilbo burning luck was just like the other person burning luck. That's not what happens. Instead, if the halfling burns luck, then they add their luck modifier onto whatever the other people's roll is. Now, his luck modifier was a +2, and that's what I ended up adding to the rolls anyway, so it didn't practically make any difference. But if you're worried about the rules, then that is something that I did incorrectly that I'm now aware of. Okay. All right. So at this point, we are on the third level of the Tower of Thulsa. Remember, we are here. We have been sent by Caliph the cleric, Reverend Caliph, to seek out a formula for making a flask that basically turns water into wine, and this wine provides an intelligence bonus. So it's kind of the opposite of actual wine. As far as this is the wine of sobriety, I suppose. All right. So we're going to go ahead and pick up where we left off. We are on the third floor. At this point, there are stairs going down. Oh, okay. So I'm going to say first thing we do call up our friend, the wizard Bipeld, right? Who I had before decided he's willing to help us out a little bit, but he is not interested in getting in any fights. He is really just here to get something valuable. He doesn't particularly care what it is, but he's interested in money right now. So he's not going to risk life and limb right for this. Whereas apparently our adventurers are totally willing to do that, and several are willing to die to make this happen. All right. So anyway, we are here now. We are on floor number 3. We have the option of either going upstairs or going through the doors right into the other half of this floor. I think maybe I'm going to go through the door into the other half of the floor. I think that that makes sense. So I'm going to have one of my thieves, right, check this, see, check the door for traps. So we have either +1 here or +2 there. Okay, so Marv. Marv is the one that's better at finding traps. I'm going to have Marv be the one to look for the trap. Right, so finding a trap, what you do, so it's, you get a +3, but he also adds his intelligence, so that's a -1, so it's overall a -2 for him. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and roll a d20 -2. Oh, that was real bad. So if there's a trap there, he definitely didn't find it, right? So he did not find any traps. So the question is then, is there actually a trap there? So let's pull out a different d6. All right. So is there a trap there? So this is using the one page solo engine. A one is definitely a no, right? Rolling low gives you a no. Oh, but let's also use numeral to see if there's any modification on this. There is not. So anything 2 through 5 would be no modification. All right, so the door, there's no trap in it at all, right? That's probably why we didn't find one, perhaps. No, we didn't find one because he rolled terribly. All right. The next step then, let's see. So no trap. Like, is it locked? Oh. You said it's unlikely? right? So roll again. Nope, not locked. It would have been five or more to be a yes on an unlikely question. All right, so we can just walk through. So we're in, I guess, the second room on the third floor. So I want to know something about what this room is like, right? So we'll roll through using the dungeon crawler, the one-page generator. All right. So first, tell me about this location. Six, it is a location for a specialized purpose. Okay. So we're gonna have to figure out what that purpose is, right? In a minute. Is there an encounter here? Six, that is a unique NPC or adversary. And then any objects? Six, a rare or special item. Right? And then what about exits? Three gives us one additional exit. Right? So I'm thinking I don't want there to be another set of stairs. So actually, this half of the um, I guess this half of the what are we calling this tower? Yeah, this is half. So this half of the floor of the tower is actually divided again, right? So if you were to sketch it out, right? So we have this kind of thing happening. I'll go ahead and draw this out. Right. So here's basically what I'm thinking about. Right. So we came in up the steps here, and there's more steps going up over here. Okay. So we came up this way. I guess these would go down. Whatever. So this was where all the beds were. Then we came through this door right here into this room, which serves some kind of specialized purpose, and there is another door going this way. Okay, so we know there are at least three rooms on this floor. This is a much smaller room than what we had before. All right, so what is the specialized purpose? That is something we need to figure out. So the specialized purpose, so okay, I guess would be action. So I got the Queen of Diamonds. So this is to assist, specifically assist something technical. So this suggests this is some kind of lab or something like that. So there's various kind of lab equipment around. Now, Thulsa was a mentalist, so I'm guessing this lab equipment is probably going to be things that she may have used, right, to like study people's brains and the like, right? So I'm imagining doing some kind of like psychic testing, right? These kinds of things. I now have the image in mind from Ghostbusters, or also now from the Acolyte. Because you have cards with different images on them and saying, "Oh, what am I looking at?" and that kind of thing, right? So this is going to be. I'm going to say it's basically a psych lab, is what that is going to be. Now the person who is here. Okay. Well, the first thing I want to know. So it is an unique NPC or adversary. So they could possibly be friendly. This is how we found Biped after all. Right, so let's check first of what their attitude is toward us. Right, so this would be something we could look at as kind of a how question. Right, so how friendly are they to us? So basically, this is going to go one, not friendly at all, six, quite friendly. That was a five. It's gonna two. I was leaning. It's a two, so they're somewhat unfriendly, which means they probably will not attack on sight because, and they're not hostile enemies. But this is somebody who is not necessarily happy we're here. So that's another question: is this a human, right, or is it a monster? Is it a human? Yes. Okay. It's a human, and is there any modification on that? Three is a no. All right. So come across this person. So what is their identity? King. So it's another adventurer. Okay, adventurer. And an adventurer of a social type, right? So this is something. Okay, so now the social domain here indicates personal connection. This might be somebody we know or somebody in our party knows. That is a possibility that I want to keep in mind as I figure out some more about this person. Right, so it's an adventurer. Their goal, they want to create, right, something mystical. Oh, this is interesting. Right, so this might be like a conjunction of we might be looking for the same thing. That's a possibility. Right. And then last thing we want to know about them is do they have some kind of notable feature? Six, they have unexpected age or origin. Right. So and it could be okay, what about the age? So they could be super young or super old. Um, Either one of those would be surprising. So let's do that. So is it Are they super young? Yeah, that's a no. Okay, so then they're super old. So a very old man right here. I need a name for this person. All right, so let's go ahead and pull out our list of names. Just gonna roll them as a humanoid. Okay, so roll a D100. Got a 72. 72 tells us their name is Tars. So Tars, that's who we met, is an elderly adventurer, again seeking, right, to create something. He's not openly hostile, but he's not happy we're here either. Right. So he's unhappy we're here. Right. So what happens now? So Marv is the one that opened the door, right, and did not get trapped by anything because there was no trap, and comes across, right, this person Tars. Right. So when Tars is rifling through the various equipment, is clearly looking for something. Right. So I think Marv, it's lawful, right, simply says, "Can I help you?" Which is a hilarious thing to do when you're walking into a room where somebody else is the one in there. Like, right? Charles is a bit startled, right, by this, right? And Logan says, "No, yeah, youngins don't know anything that would be helpful to me." At this point, we find out somebody behind us, right, a very short person, Vilbo, hears the voice and says, "Lars, is that you?" Vilbo is the one that knows Tars. So I don't know what their relationship is with each other. So how are they related, like, to each other? Um, I don't really have a great oracle for this. Um, hmm. So let's do it as if it's an action focus. So what does it do? Reveal. Reveal physical. Okay. All right. So Vilbo we know was a bit of a vagrant. That's his background. He was a halfling vagrant. Right? But back when he was a child, right, living in, the village, right, Tars was the one, right, that I guess encouraged Vilbo to be interested in adventuring. Right, so while Tars was immediately a bit put off by the fact that he's going to interrupted, right, by these people coming in, uh, now there's a familiar face. So I don't know what his reaction is like, right? So is he happy to see, right, his protege? And it seems likely. And the answer is yes, because three is on the line. So yes, any modification on it. Six would be an and. Okay, so yes, he is happy. And in addition to being happy about this, I think so. So Tars, I've just established, is now a halfling. Apparently, he's an elderly halfling adventurer. I think you would have noticed this immediately, but sometimes that's the way this works. Uh, so then we're happy we're here, but then he sees Bilbo and he sort of brightens up and he says, "Oh, Bilbo, you finally left the village." I'm like, "Oh yes, yes." And I managed to survive the other room. Might have heard the noise. Tars, of course, is going to chuckle as well. The fact that there are like 15 dead bodies. No, it's not 15, is it? To escape. There are 13, right, dead bodies in the other room. At least most of them are the bandits. All right. So, so what is it that you're looking for? Well, I'm looking for a formula to create something. So here's the question. Is he here looking for the same formula we are? Now that feels unlikely to me, unless, right? we don't know a lot about Caliph the cleric. He could be going out and like trying to get lots of people to do these kinds of things because he knows, right, that the odds of everybody making it through is fairly slim. After all, we had found right, bodies outside of the tower. That is how. Oh, who was the got the armor? That's how one of our clerics, I think, got some armor. It was Igor. Igor has some padded armor because there was a body outside. This relatively fresh, I assume. Okay. Right. So this is yeah. I think that this is an issue. Okay, so that's the question. So I guess maybe we'll ask him. Was like, okay, were you sent here by Reverend Cowell? Let me say it's 50-50. Again, this is going to be our okay. Oh, okay. So we've got our answer and our modifier. Our answer is no. Oh wait. Oh, it's a yes. That's a yes. Yes. So 4 and up would be a yes. So yes, but so he was sent here by the Reverend Caliph, but there's some condition with something different about. Well, let's look. What kind of thing is it? 7. Something unexpected. Okay. It's what happened unexpectedly in a physical sense. Oh, okay. Well, yes, he was sent, but it turns out that a lot of his parachute was killed before they even made it in the tower, and he alone managed to sneak in, right, and sneak past all of the bandits that we just passed, right, and managed to sneak into this room. This room looks like it's going to have something valuable in it, right? So I think it makes sense that this is where he would be attracted to. And we know that there is actually a rare or special item in this room. So the question is this: is this the room where the book is located? Right. So we're going to take some time of searching. Now, searching, I think, is is not really something that I'm going to make any kind of roll for because it doesn't really fit well. And according to the way the rules are literally written, uh, like searching or listening, these kinds of things tend to be luck rolls. And I think I might actually do that this way. Because it would be very lucky, right, if we happen to be in the correct room. Right. So I'm going to do this as a luck roll. Uh Vilbo is the one who has the highest luck score, and therefore at the moment, because his is a 12, which I think is higher than the maximum for anybody else in the party, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, because right now I'm seeing maxima are like 9, 5, 8, 9. Yeah. Yeah. So Vilbo, even having spent some of his luck, is still luckier than everybody else. So we're going to roll that d20. If it rolls 12 or less, then this is the room where we can find the book. Roll a 7. The book is, in fact, in this room. Awesome. Okay. All right. So there is. So it turns out we are all, in fact, looking right, for the same thing, right, for this formula. And we found there's a bookshelf here. We start rifling through these books. Fortunately, we have the wizard, was it Biped with us, and Biped hobbles over with his wooden leg and starts flipping through books. He's looking for something that looks like it's going to have formulas in it of some kind. We are actually in a lab, so it makes sense. Even though Thulsa is mostly a mentalist, there may also be some other components around. Right, so he's flipping through, right, looking for some kind of formula to see if there is something useful here. Right. And in fact, there is, right? So taking enough time. So the real question here then is because this is going to take time, right, for us to dig through the library, for us to do all of this, are we interrupted right, in that process? So that's the question. So I'm going to go ahead and roll. I'll just say it's 50-50. No, you're not. Any modifier on that? No, but. Okay, so we are not interrupted in the process, but what happens? Uh, no, but. But what? But what? I don't know how to put a but onto this, honestly. Right? So it's not coming to mind. Maybe you'll think of something. It's great when you play the game. You can do that. Right, so there's a no, right? They don't get interrupted. They do get a bit nervous. Maybe that's the but. So they're a little bit nervous. They feel like there may be something. They can hear some noises, let's say from upstairs, that kind of thing. That'd be a good but. But they heard noises upstairs. Okay, so they didn't actually get interrupted, but they do feel under pressure to get this thing and get out. Okay. All right, so they are flipping through madly, closing the door, watching it. nobody really comes. There are a bunch of bodies there. I assume that if anybody upstairs came down and saw all the bodies, they would react in some way, right? Might possibly be a noticeable way, like shouting out or something like that. But that is not what happens. So we don't get interrupted. We hear noises upstairs, but nothing that leads us to having to stop what we're doing. We flip through, we do in fact find, right, one of these books does contain the formula we're looking for. So now we just have to get out with it. All right. So I think that's good. That's good. So I think the next thing I want to do, because it seems like we are getting a little bit of a break here, since we're not getting interrupted with things, I do want to do a little bit of healing, perhaps. Oh wait, no. Is this the end? That's the question. If this is the end of the adventure, then I think what we can do is just leave and give people some time to heal. Because right now, what I'm noting is that Helmut, for example, is in bad shape, and he's lost 5 hit points. Igor is not in great shape. Igor only has 3 hit points to start with. He's down to one, right? So, because Igor did die, but then wasn't actually as dead as we thought. I'm not dead yet moments. Okay. So I think that is that. Right. So, um, I'm debating whether I want to call that the end and say they get out and everything's fine. Or, oh wait, no, that can't be the end because we didn't complete everybody's goal. The wizard biped wants something, it's something valuable. Now there is some, we already found something rare here, right? So is there something also in this room that may be of monetary value? That's something also we've not really done much of, is looting. And at this point, we have some very, very poor people doing their adventuring. So it's a lab. It seems unlikely, but do we happen to find some gold or something right around here, something valuable? And so let's go ahead and take a look. The answer is that it's unlikely, so no, that there's not in fact any gold here. Is there any modifier on this? There is. There's a but. So no but. Okay. Right, so there's not gold, but there are the trinkets and various types of equipment that potentially could be useful. Is this something that satisfies the wizard Bipeld? That's the other question. So is Bipeld satisfied by this? Right? No, he is not satisfied by this. Right? So he reminds us, right, and remember, most of us are lawful. He reminds us that we have an obligation, right, to continue helping him with what he is doing and trying to seek out something that's worthwhile. There's nothing here that he really thinks is worthwhile. He's not interested in this formula, even though you would think he would be. Mental note there. You would think he would be interested in this. He's not. Hmm. So he's not interested, right, in these books. He's not interested in this mentalist equipment. He doesn't have any use for that. He wants something that's worth gold. That is really what he is interested in. So something valuable, right? Art or jewels or literal gold coins or any of this would be fine, but he has not found any of this stuff, right? So that means we kind of have to continue on, don't we? Let's pause there. Right, back from a little break. I mean, it doesn't make any difference to pause the recording. Yeah, I had to talk to a guy that's coming to give me a quote for removing a tree from my yard because it's a big tree that's causing problems. All right, anyway, so I think we need to continue, right? We have an obligation here to Bipeld. We're going to go on into that next room. So we know that this area is, so maybe I'll just show you, right? We're going to go into this room, see what's there. Okay. So again, we need to check the door, right? So I'm actually getting down to where I have something like a method to this madness. All right. So Marv, go ahead and check. This is again at a +2. Here's the d20. 2 + 2 is still not much. Marv should be better at this, but he is not. Okay. Um, what about my friend Phineas, who's also a thief? Oh, he is actually also rolling at a +2, it turns out. Okay. So even though his thief ability is only at a +1, adding the intelligence modifier to it makes it +2. Right? So it's one of those, one of them is good at is relatively good at finding traps, but just is stupid. The other one He's not that great at finding traps, but he's relatively intelligent, so he helps us out. Right. So in any case, we're going to go ahead and try to open the door. Right. I guess first, is it locked? Uh, that's a no. It is definitely not locked. All right. So we're gonna open it, and is there actually a trap there? Oh yes, there is. There is a trap. What kind of trap? Okay, there is a trap, and I mean, it's a um, I guess a strong trap, a rough trap, whatever. All right. So we checked for this trap. We did not find it, which is a problem. Right. So what does this trap do? Let's find out. What is the nature of this trap? Okay. So what does it do? 10. It take. So take in diamond is technical or mental. Right. So take mental, and then it's focus, and then what does it look like? Ace. It's a unique trap that takes something mental. Um, I think, yeah, this is something. This is the type of trap that we found in the front door. It's a mental attack, right? So this is something that is going to, I'm going to say, knock Marv out for a couple rounds, that kind of thing. Um, so let's go ahead and check that. So Marv is going to make a will save against this. His will save is at a +1. I'm going to, because this is a tough trap with the and on it, I'm going to say he needs a 15 total. Rolls a 7 +1, 8. Nope, Marv's knocked out. I'm going to say that he recovers after we're done in the next room. So he's not dead or anything like that, but so he opens the door and bam, this wave of mental energy knocks him down onto the floor, and he is out. The rest of the party drags him into the next room so we don't have his body laying there. And then what do we find in that next room would be the question. Right, so, one page generator says this location is number 2, a transitional area. What type of transition? Is there an encounter here? 2 is none, right? So it's a transitional area. No encounters any kind of objects here. 1, nothing, or just mundane objects. Okay, and then total exits. 2, it's a dead end. All right, so that tells us here this is basically just a closet, right? So this is a storage room. It's a closet. There's only mundane stuff here. Nothing particularly valuable. Is something valuable is actually one of the possibilities that you could roll, right? So nothing. All right. So we're going to come back out, go through the psych lab, go through the bedroom, and I guess we have to go up the steps. Although I really don't like that because we heard people walking around up there. We're going to do it. So we're going to go up the steps. And I think that might actually be a good place to stop. So, that this was a relatively less eventful episode. So far fewer people died. Oh, Marv does like come to after you search through this closet looking for anything valuable. The Biped says, "Yeah, okay, I'm happy." Uh, he doesn't say this, so we continue on, and we're gonna call it there. So I guess then, no XP for anybody because there really weren't resources spent at all. Nobody had to spend any luck points. Nobody took any hit points of damage or anything like that. So we're just gonna leave it at that. And in that case, this is Prof E signing out.